Hello and welcome to this session, looking at how to prepare for an assessment centre. My name is Jo Craggs and I am a careers consultant within Newcastle University's Career Service. During this session, we will look at what an assessment centre typically involves and the type of tasks you might be given, offer some advice on how you can prepare effectively and point you towards some further useful resources. Let's begin by explaining some of the basic points about the process. Expect to attend for at least a half a day, but some employers will run assessment centres over the course of even 2 or 3 days. Be aware that you will be assessed at all times, not only when you are performing the tasks, but also socially. So for example, during any coffee or lunch breaks. Expect numbers to be high, both in terms of candidates and the number of assessors present. We will shortly take a more detailed look at the types of tasks you're likely to perform, but bear in mind that these are very likely to reflect the job role itself. So this gives you a really good opportunity to gain some insight into the role and into the company, and help you decide if it's the right fit for you. Situations and tasks are designed to allow you to demonstrate your own skills and strengths. So approach this whole process with positivity and see it as a great opportunity to learn more about not only the company and the role, but also yourself. Don't overly worry about feeling nervous. This is totally natural. And remember, everyone is in the same position. Being prepared is key. It is helpful to understand the employer's perspective when using assessment centres in their hiring process. Companies spend a lot of money on recruitment, so they want to make sure they're hiring the right people who will perform well and be loyal. The assessment centre process ensures a more objective approach in using a number of assessors to measure and rate your performance, whereas an interview, for example, commonly involves only a smaller panel of assessors. The range of different tasks that you are asked to perform allows you to demonstrate your key skills and attributes clearly, rather than just talking about them. This is important for the company to see. And also ensures that a more diverse range of competencies are being assessed during the sessions. Assessors will measure your performance against a predetermined competency framework set by the employer. Before we look at an example of a competency framework, it is important to point out that generally, companies' competencies are no big secret, and you should research these well in advance of attending the assessment centre. As a starting point, check the employer website for further details. Most employers will offer an explanation of their values and the types of behaviour they would expect to see. So here is one example of a competency framework. As you can see, there are a range of skills and attributes that are essential for this role, and staying mindful of these during the tasks and being able to demonstrate your key skills in each area will help you succeed. Take time to really understand what employers want. For example, teamwork doesn't just mean leading a group or getting everyone to do what you want. It is about supporting and encouraging other members, listening, using appropriate intervention, managing conflict, and managing progress. Let's take a look at a typical assessment day. It is most likely to start with a tour of the premises or perhaps a talk from the employers. This may be followed by an icebreaker session. Individual activities will most likely follow, with the first half of the day culminating in lunch with employers, interviewers, and potentially graduates who are on the programme. Group exercises may take place after lunch also. The interview most commonly forms the final part of the day. This might all sound daunting, but remember that not many candidates are invited to assessment centres. You have already made a good first impression, so let this boost your confidence. We will now take a brief look at these different stages of a typical assessment day and focus on how to impress. Use the tour or the employer talk as an opportunity to gain more insight into the company and be curious and eager to learn more about the organisation. This demonstrates a very positive approach. Icebreakers are designed to help you ease into the day and get to know each other better. You might, for example, be asked to talk with the person next to you and present a short personal profile on that person back to the group. Whatever the activity, use this time effectively to better understand the dynamics of the group you are in and assess others' strengths and weaknesses. Individual tasks are most likely to be related to the specific role you're applying for. Examples include an in-tray exercise, case studies, and psychometric testing. Whatever form these tasks take, be aware of what is being assessed. Typically, your organisational skills, time management, attention to detail, and your ability to cope under pressure. Be prepared to explain your rationale for the decisions you make. Other individual tasks might include a presentation, a role play, or an interview. These typically are testing your communication skills and again, how you cope under pressure. For example, a role play might involve you dealing with a particularly difficult customer complaint. Presentations are often set in advance of the assessment day, so being well prepared and taking time to design an engaging, slick presentation will make a very good impression. Interviews provide you with exclusive time with your assessors. Being prepared to answer a range of questions with well-structured and specific examples and detail is essential. Take a look at our Masterclass for Succeeding at Interviews after this session. Of course, practicing all of these different tasks beforehand will help you succeed. Refer to our Careers Service website for relevant resources. As mentioned previously, assessors don't switch off for lunch, so stay alert and maintain a professional approach throughout. Networking and effective communication skills are essential for any role, so use this time wisely to demonstrate your enthusiasm in working for the company, ask questions, listen carefully to others, and generally demonstrate how good your communication skills are. Group exercises are, of course, testing your ability to work effectively as part of a team. So take time to really understand what effective team working skills look like. It is essential that you find that balance between not overly dominating the group or being too quiet. It is important to see this process not as a competition, but more as a team effort. Remember that assessors are measuring you against their competency framework, so potentially some or in fact none of the candidates might be successful. You should remain focused on participating positively and calmly in all activities, and recognising the strengths and weaknesses of not only yourself, but of other candidates, in order to complete any tasks. Most importantly, be yourself, and bear in mind that the company's aim is to hire, not simply to reject. So what are our top tips in preparing for the day itself? First is research. Ahead of the assessment centre, you should make sure you know that firm inside out and have a strong understanding of what you would be doing if you secured the job. Look at the employer's website for information about what it does, its values, and what it looks for in candidates. Study the job description carefully and read up on any news stories involving the company. Speak to people who've already worked there or search for previous candidates' experiences and their descriptions of the assessment centre process. The Wiki Job Forum is a great place to start. Secondly is to revise your application and your CV. It may be some time since you first submitted these, so take time to ensure that all the information you provided is fresh in your mind. If the assessment centre includes an interview, your interviewer is likely to use your CV as a starting point, so be prepared to talk them through every point included. If you have been asked to take a CV with you on the day, make any improvements or amendments so that you can present recruiters with the strongest version possible. Thirdly is to check your understanding of the process. Ensure that you know exactly how the day will run, so there are no surprises that might knock you off balance. Remember to check those key competencies in advance and familiarise yourself with them. Think about your personal strengths and weaknesses and how these match up against the framework. Are there any areas where you need more practice or support from the careers service in articulating your attributes? Practice as much as possible for all of the tasks. It will pay off. For example, if you do receiving a briefing in advance for a presentation, find out who your audience are and check out what equipment will be available. Equally, for an interview, know how many interviewers will be on the panel and how long it is likely to last. You will feel much more confident going into the process if you know what to expect and you feel well rehearsed. Assessment centres are an intense experience and you are likely to feel exhausted at the end of the day. Looking after yourself in terms of your mental and physical well-being really can help you perform at your best. Don't neglect yourself in the days leading up to the assessment centre. Eating well, getting enough sleep and adding in some regular exercise will all contribute to your performance on the day, especially in helping to reduce your anxiety. When the day itself arrives, ensure you have plenty of time to arrive at the centre and that you have checked or even tested out travel plans where possible. Do you have any backup plans if things don't run smoothly? Choose something smart and professional in terms of outfit, but it is also helpful to check on the company website for guidance on the dress code or to contact the company's HR department if you're still unsure. Aim to arrive in ample time and give yourself time to familiarise yourself with your new surroundings. And a top tip, ultimately, is to smile and be polite from the outset. So that concludes this session. I do hope it has been useful and that you feel better prepared for your assessment centre experience. Please contact the Career Service with any questions or for further support with this or indeed any other aspect of your career planning using the My Career portal on the Career Service homepage.